Right, so all of that happened. I mean, it wasn't exactly a gigantic revelation. Like, she was so obviously strange that her saying, like, she's been trying to be this cool artist person doesn't come as a shock because she was so strange about it. It was very obvious that that wasn't really her. So I don't know if Malia was actually taken in by that and was fooled and thought that was who she was, or she was just like, she's kind of a weird lady, but we get along okay. So yeah, not sure how to feel about that revelation. When I came into the kitchen, I saw Ji Hyo there getting some food. Ji Hyo, I. As soon as I spoke, she turned and walked out of the room without a word. I ran after her. Please, can I talk? She didn't even slow down. It was pointless. It was over. Apparently, I just had to accept that. I swear, she gets together with Angie. I'm gonna lose my mind. What's happening? Studying. Only Ji Hyo was unaffected by the impending examinations, since she wasn't... Oh, man. I am so sorry. My mouth just like... It's like my battery was dying. Since she was... blah. Let's try that sentence again, shall we? Only Ji Hyo was unaffected by the impending examinations, since she wasn't actually taking any classes, and therefore didn't have any tests to worry about. Which didn't mean she wasn't worried about the end of the semester for other reasons. But I couldn't think too much about that right now. So I didn't. Okay, I got through that, kind of. I'd been trying desperately all week to get a hold of Ji Hyo, but nothing worked. Every time she saw me, she disappeared like a magic act. Maybe I should have accepted that. Maybe it was creepy of me to lurk in front of her room like this, somewhere that she couldn't avoid. But... what was happening between us was wrong. What she believed wasn't true. I wasn't a thief, and I did care about her, for everything that she was. With the extra time on my hands, now that I was no longer employed, I had been wandering London a lot, and out on Portobello Road I had found this painting at a stall. I couldn't explain why, but it reminded me of her. I had to buy it. Now I stood in front of Ji Hyo's door, holding the picture frame in front of me like a small child clutching a stuffed lion. As long as I could give this picture to her and she understood how I felt, I would be fine. If she didn't ever want to meet me again, that was fine. I would accept it and leave her alone. But I'd feel terrible if I didn't try just this once. Maybe it was because she was my first relationship, but I had strong feelings for her. I loved the way she laughed. I loved how she was when she got angry and frustrated. I loved how cute and direct she was, how easy it was for her to make fun of me and get me to try new things. I didn't want all that to go to waste because of a misunderstanding, and over something I didn't even do. I had to try. Hours stretched by. I was practically falling asleep against the wall when I finally heard soft footsteps turning the corner. I jolted up from where I was sitting. Ji Hyo? What is it, Malia? I'm sorry that I'm being creepy, but I really needed to talk to you. If you feel like I'm being weird, you can totally kick me out. I understand. I guess if I don't hear you out now, I'll never hear the end of it. Go on. What is it? I took a deep breath. Everything I'd done, every minute we shared in our relationship came down to this one chance. I thought a lot about what you said. And you know what? Even if we didn't completely know each other, even if maybe we were pretending to be things we weren't, the moments that we shared together were still 100% real. The chemistry we felt was real. The feelings I shared with you and the way you made me feel was real. You would get frustrated and angry all the time, and I was shy and hesitant, but when you mix us together, you got something wonderful. A kind of dynamic duo that could pull each other through anything. I did so much stuff I never would have been able to without you at my side pulling me along. And from what you said before, I've inspired you to paint more than you thought you could. The effect we had on each other was real. The feelings we have are real. I still think we have a chance. Plus, I like the real you better anyway. You may have thought you hid your real personality well, but it was more like you became this odd Jekyll and Hyde situation. Okay, good. Malia was onto it. I'm like, she had to realize that something weird was going on, right? I think I knew when you weren't being you, and that version of you wasn't what kept me around. Anyway, I bought you this. It represents how I feel when I think about you. You can keep it, even if you don't want to be with me. Or you can decide you don't want anything to do with me anymore, and I'll keep it to remind me of you. I'll accept your decision, whatever it is. I just wanted to make sure you knew how I felt. Ji Hyo's eyes filled with tears, and she took the painting from me with trembling hands. I was so afraid. I thought you would hate me. What? No! How could I ever hate you? I lied to you. Yeah, well, sometimes people do dumb things. Then we've both done some pretty stupid things. How about we put that behind us? Yes, I'd like that. She fell into my arms, resting her head against my chest. Well, that was a somewhat nice, resolution between you two. I liked that. It's odd. I trust you now more than I ever have. Really? Yeah. I feel like I can finally relax around you. Hey, you know what? We should go on a date. Somewhere you pick. I think it'd be really fun to go somewhere with you. Of course! Anytime! I mean, anytime except right before the exams I'm about to have to take. Since I do actually take classes. But anytime after that. Good. Then I'll see you soon. She blushed, wiping her wet face with the sleeve. Yeah, I'll see you soon. She went into her bedroom, cradling the painting to her chest. I can't believe it. Ji Hyo was still my girlfriend. She still liked me for some reason. Somehow it all worked out. I returned to my room floating on a cloud. Thank goodness for Ji Hyo. Thank goodness for England. Thank goodness for everything. And God bless... ... Alright, you guys can have your fun. I'm on a cloud, apparently. I met Ji Hyo in front of the British Museum, 2 tickets in my hand. You know that this is the most cliché date you could ever take an artist to. I scratched the back of my neck. I figured as much, but I wanted to make sure we did something you were interested in. She smiled. It's fine. They just got a new exhibit I haven't seen, so it isn't a total loss. She grinned at me, and I smiled in response. That was the thing about Ji Hyo. Even when she messed with me, it didn't feel like she was trying to take a jab at me, or take the piss out of me, as the British would say. Yes, as they would say. If anything, her little teases made me want to respond in kind, or pin her to the ground in a tickle fight. Not that I would do that here, that would be inappropriate. We toured the museum, Ji Hyo explaining the history and meaning behind almost every painting we encountered, and me nodding my head and making up silly stories about the people in the paintings. So it's considered a classic because it's a good representation of chiaroscuro, and because it's a condemnation of people who essentially vilified prostitutes, but glorified naked women in art. I nodded and leaned next to her ear. That guy cheated on his wife with a monkey. Ji Hyo gasped and slapped me with her exhibit map. Were you even listening to anything I said? Of course I was. Criticism in history, of course. That's it. As punishment, you have to treat me to ice cream. Aww. Anything but that. Oh, I could think of a few things we could do. She looked at me with a mischievous gleam in her eyes, and I flushed. Ice cream it is. I didn't usually find art museums interesting, but with Ji Hyo, they felt like an adventure. Well, that was fun, don't you think? I agree, but there's something I could use your help with. I need more experience with anatomy for my drawings. Mm-hmm. Think you could pose for me? She winked. Yeah, sure. Do you want to go back to the park? Or somewhere with good architecture? What do you need me to do? I'm hitting on you. I want to have sex. Just gotta spell it out for her sometimes. Oh! When are you going to catch on? It's not my fault. I totally understood. I just, let's do this thing. Not quite knowing what else to do, I pulled off my shirt and awkwardly shuffled out of my jeans. That was fast. Oh, is that not how this usually goes? I stared at the floor, feeling embarrassed and vulnerable and a little bit cold. And then I heard the soft padding of clothes hitting the floor. Now we're even. I looked at Ji Hyo in surprise. She stared back at me defiantly. Then, after a few seconds, she started laughing. I started laughing too. There. That's better. Much less pressure. Yeah, I'm glad. Her look softened and she stepped into my arms. Aw, that's very sweet. Nice. Seemed like it would be a good night. That's all you had to say about it? You smooch her and you're like, it's probably gonna be a good night. Probably. What do you want, Aussie? Honestly. Hey, Malia. Ji Hyo, how was your day? Not bad. As usual, trying to paint as much as possible. Whoa. We talked about our day a bit, and then Ji Hyo snuggled up to me, a familiar gleam in her eye. Neither one of us wanted to talk about the future, which was approaching all too swiftly. In the end, we had a wonderful night together. Can just be summed up as, like, it's a pretty good night when Ji Hyo's around. I won't get into the details, but it's pretty good. I assume that's just how every day went going forward. I made a lot of friends, James. Oh. Oh, interesting! So we have the friendship ending with Angie. And, because we're with a lady, we actually, like, just tell him off. Okay, I need to see this. Be sure to find a good guy to take care of you, right? You're too good to wind up an old shrew. I gritted my teeth. For God's sake, Angelo, I do not need a man to take care of me. I like women, if you hadn't noticed. I only meant that I wanted you to be happy. I would very much like for you to be happy. Yeah? Well, I intend to be, but I don't need your help to do it. Farewell, then. It had a very final sound to it, but I was okay with that. Goodbye. Aw, poor Angie. He just can't win with Malia. She's just too easy to take offense. Alright. Our final goodbye. At last, I was faced with the hardest goodbye of all. If only we'd had more time. Time doesn't just happen. You have to make time. Are you mad at me? No. But I'm not giving up either. This isn't over. The sense of relief bubbled up through me so giddily I almost laughed. You have my phone number and my email and my mailing address, and I've got it. Don't worry. You'll hear from me soon. A final kiss, and then it was time for me to go. Alright. later, not 6 years or 2 years. Malia! That was it. Her voice. Where was she? I scanned the bustling crowd for Ji Hyo's tiny head, waving my arm frantically. Malia, there you are! Something solid crashed into my back and arms wrapped around my torso. I miss you so much. It's been so long. I clasped my hands over hers, happy she couldn't see the blood rushing to my face. It hasn't been that long. I was on the other side of the world. It doesn't matter how long it was too far. Oh, geez, you must have terrible jet lag. How could I be tired when we're here together? Still, she stifled a yawn. That was your fault for mentioning yawning. I'm not that tired. Come on, we're gonna have to get you to bed if we want you to be ready for school. I grabbed her hand and led her out of the airport. She had sent most of her stuff ahead in the mail, and what she hadn't sent I already owned. I still can't believe you managed to convince your parents to let you come to the School of the Visual Arts. And you're going to be living with me. It's not just me, right? This isn't a dream? Stop being so cheesy. I did have a conversation with my mom before I got here. She was dropping me off at the airport and she said, I'm not happy with this, you know. I'm not happy, but at least you're taking something seriously. The deal's still on, too. 500 attendees by the end of the year. It's a big enough deal for most people to get their own gallery showing. Do you really think? I didn't want to imply she couldn't do it, but I was a bit worried. Ji Hyo shoved me, her hand sinking deep into my plush jacket. It doesn't matter how hard it is. I'm going to make it happen. There's no other option for me. I'll work as hard as I have to. I'll stay up months in a row. I'll paint until my hands bleed. Whoa, calm down, you're shouting. I will do whatever it takes to stay here with you, because I love you. She threw her fists up into the air, shouting at the cloudy sky in her lightly accented English. Hey, seriously, calm down. I wrapped my arms around her and she became still. Small drops of white descended from the sky, filling my vision. It was snowing. You're right in time for Christmas. Aren't you going to say it back? What? I just said something pretty revealing right there. I felt myself flush. Oh, yeah, I mean, I love you too. She beamed at me. I knew it. It shouldn't come as a surprise at this point. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help you reach your goal. Because I love you. Together, we can handle anything. Sweet. I was kind of hoping that we would see Ji Hyo and Jinsu interact, but that was okay. Alright, so did we get... I assume that was the good ending. Romance Ji Hyo. And... yeah, we did it! Nice. Alright, and she's got a neutral and a bad ending. Look at this filling up. You love to see it. Well, Ji Hyo's route was certainly interesting. It made sense. It was good. I don't know if I quite got on her flow. You know what I mean, yo? Trying to think where I'd put her. Like... maybe after Ashley, but better than Peggy? Yeah, let's see. We're doing like Mark, Angie, Danny, Ashley, Ji Hyo, Peggy, and Brendan. I don't think I forgot anybody. I'm pretty sure that's everybody. Yeah, like it was nice, but I mean, she was okay. Couldn't get on her flow, but at least I finally figured out why she was being so strange. She was just trying to be like somebody she's not and thought she was more successful at it than she actually was. And I will give her credit for, like, the resolution of the whole thieving thing was nicer this time around, so I liked that a lot. But anyway, we are done for now. I hope you guys enjoyed Ji Hyo's route. Thank you very much for watching. And now that we've got that good ending, we're gonna try and get her other endings. We'll try for neutral first and see what we end up with. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Until next time, guys, I will see you later.